Hey guys, so these are our polyhedra or geometric solids or platonic solids as they're sometimes known. And let's see if I can fix the framing on this. I would like to demonstrate on how you're going to make them. So you are going to need a piece of cardboard to cut on and your knife. And your knife should have its cover on it while you're not using it. That keeps the blade sharp and it keeps you from inadvertently cutting yourself. You can use clear tape if you have it, or you can use your artist's tape. Either one will work fine. Please don't use any tape that's a different color, like don't use blue tape. You can also use glue stick if you happen to have it. You can use scissors to cut if you don't feel like cutting with your knife, but I'm going to show you how to cut with your knife. This is our tetrahedron. We have 5 shapes that I'd like you to print from a PDF and create. I'm going to show you how to do that. The cutting is the same as I demonstrated last week. Just line it up, make sure you're on your cardboard, make sure you pull your fingers back, and then just pull away the extra paper. So we want to cut the outline of the shape. In this case, this is our tetrahedron. It's going to be like a 3-dimensional triangle. We always want to put our knife on the part we want to keep in case our knife travels at all. It travels into the waste paper. And, whoops, cut as far as you want and pull away the paper. So I'm demonstrating the tetrahedron because it's the simplest of all the shapes, and this takes a few minutes. It'll take a few minutes to do. So I'm going to demonstrate the simple one so you don't have to be watching me cut paper all day long. So these are going to be 3-dimensional shapes that we are then going to draw, to exploring the idea of value. Now, we did value scales, so we know how to make light through dark tones on our paper, but we didn't really talk about what value is. What value is the relative lightness and darkness of objects in your composition. So your composition is just what you choose to include in your picture and where you choose to put those things. And value is going to give you the illusion of 3-dimensional space and depth through utilizing those dark and light tones as they are relative to one another. So you'll see what I mean in a second. So we've cut away all of the paper, and so we just have these outlines. These small forms are your tabs. So what you want to start doing now is folding. You want to fold along the lines, and for this exercise, it's really helpful to have the black lines on the inside of the form. If they're on the inside of the form, you don't have to draw them. So for the first half of the semester, we're drawing what we see. That one needs to be refolded. If you have a black line, you have to draw it. If you don't have a black line, you don't have to draw it. If you can't see it, you don't have to draw it. But if you can see it, you have to draw it. So we want the lines on the inside, and then we get super clean forms. So I just fold them, crease them, and unfold them until you've got them all folded. And you can fold them with the black line on the outside. That makes it easier to get a precise fold. And then you can fold it the other direction on that same line. That makes it a little bit easier. So if you find yourself having trouble folding along those black lines with the lines on the inside, fold it once in reverse, and then you've already sort of broken the paper there. So once you have all of the tabs and the large planes folded and unfolded, then you can start putting it together. So the tabs are always going to be on the inside. And I just happen to have clear tape, so I'm going to use clear tape right now. And you just want to start tucking the tabs on the inside and lining up the edges. So just start with one edge. Let's start with this one here. I got a little bit of tape. The tape wants to stick to my finger and not the paper. And then I have that one. So I need probably maybe just one more piece of tape down here and we're good to go. You don't want to mangle it, right? You want to kind of be ginger and delicate with it. And there we go. So we have our pyramid, our 8-sided, which is an octahedron, and that's a tetrahedron, octahedron, pyramid, cube, and cone. And I'd like you to make all of them. So when we're talking about value, we're talking about the relative difference between light and dark. I'm gonna go ahead and put the lid on my knife because I don't want to cut myself. Trust me, I've done it. So these are white shapes on a white paper. Why can we see them? We can see them because the light is hitting them in different places. So the light in my kitchen is coming through on the left-hand side and it's casting shadows over here. There's also a little bit of reflected light here and there, like you see a little bit of reflected light right there, and some light, a light source coming from the other side as well. So if I block that off, you can see the shadows a little crisper. So for this composition, you are going to want to have one singular light source. So you could block off the light that's coming from this side with like a piece of cardboard or just hang a sheet or something. And then, so the reason we can see them is because light is hitting some and others are in shadow. And if you look at this composition, you'll see a full range of value, even though there's no black here. There are darker areas and brighter areas. So we can use our full range of values to create the three-dimensional illusion of objects in space. Thank you.